So recently I went on a trip by myself. I just got home a few days ago and I went to Denver. I had a 14-hour layover in Denver from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then I flew to LA and then I stayed in LA for 2 days. And then I had a layover where my grandma lives and I stayed with her for a night. And then I came back to my hometown. And I had certainly never been on a trip before by myself. So I had never, taken a plane before, navigated entirely new airports I had never been to by myself before, booked a hotel by myself, got around completely new cities all over the place by myself. And it was a really beautiful experience to be able to be alone and fully reliant on myself and fully capable in myself and having to put all my trust and all my safety in my actions. I discovered a lot of independence in that. But there is a mildly terrifying aspect to it. It's intensely freeing and almost spiritual to just be around yourself all of the time for 4 days straight and not have any roots or connection to anywhere at such a young age, I feel like. I totally get that in other experiences, and especially when you're older and have been around by yourself more, having that kind of experience is a little less terrifying, but it was my first time and I'm 17 years old. So it was crazy to suddenly jump headfirst into everything. I didn't start out with a cute little, weekend trip, flight somewhere, flight back. No, I decided to do 4 days. Yes, a short trip, but I decided to take four flights, insane layovers. My hotel was about, or Airbnb Verbo thing was about 25 miles outside of LA. So I did use public transport to get there and back every single day because I am paying for all of this and I'm not paying for Ubers all the time and I'm not paying LA Airbnb prices. But that's a tangent. That's a tangent. What I mean is that being planning this entire trip by myself and understanding that it would be entirely by myself is so different than actually being in a new city all by yourself and seeing the beauty in things and just processing all of that by yourself. I feel like I reached out to so many more people because of the fact, obviously, that I was alone and I didn't have anybody to stay connected to and be with and around in each of the activities. I didn't have anybody, definitely not the same person. And meeting new people and talking to them, even for short little conversations, was such a learning experience for me because it kind of made me realize that saying where it's wherever you go, there you are. Literally, yeah. I was so bad at social interactions and talking to people and navigating social situations no matter where I was. And I had to find a way to not dwell on it and just appreciate the conversations and laugh a little. But yeah, I was a mess. I'm so awkward and so weird everywhere I go. And that's fine because it was really fun to be able to have no stakes in any conversations. But it was so spiritually changing to have all of these experiences and be by yourself. And I did a lot each day. I explored, I went to events, I did a lot each day, and it was honestly kind of terrifying to know that everything that I was doing was reliant on me for the same reasons it was so freeing. I had no stakes. I knew nobody. That's scary. I did have some bad experiences, some weird guys and my phone almost dying the way home. I made it home with 3% that day. Um, and I did on the occasion feel that deep sense of guilt and fear and anguish that always comes with, for me, having a good experience. Because having good experiences, I always feel slightly guilty and paranoid and scared and uncertain. Like, what if this is the last time I ever feel happy like this? Or like, what if I'm ruining the moment? Or what if I'm ruining the moment by thinking about ruining the moment? And then when I think back to this moment, I'll only be remembering how I was thinking about ruining the moment, and that ruins the moment. And I love feelings, and I even love the bad ones. So even experiencing those feelings, the bad ones, it was just exciting to get to think about them and process them. To me, feeling feelings is like an art form because I'm really good at it. I'm really good at feeling feelings. Or maybe I'm really bad at it because when I feel feelings, I feel them so strongly that they're almost all the same. I'm bipolar, haha. But it's so much better than not feeling anything because not feeling anything is just an abscess where my heart should be. It's just a pit of nothing, of emptiness. And the feelings are even more potent when I'm alone because there's nobody I can go to comfort myself. I have to also be reliant on myself to comfort myself and get me through emotional times, which are all the time. I'm always emotional, always, never going to stop. And I went to LA for the Mitski concert, so being able to experience that alone and the amount of feelings that that brought with me alone was so beautiful to me. Thinking and processing not just emotions, but events and events that happened in the day or like anything is so much more interesting to me when I'm alone because I get to dissect not only what I'm thinking about, but the process of how I'm thinking about it. And I just love being able to dissect those feelings and emotions and find freedom almost in the fact that I don't have like the best way of dealing with things, but I can recognize that I don't. And I can understand how like my thought process may like change or may be influenced by certain things that have happened. And it's so, so good to me that I was alone for that trip because when I was thinking about my thinking and processing my processing and comforting myself, I realized that like everything is so, so big compared to me. Like, even my feelings are so big compared to me. The cities are so big compared to me. And there's just nothing I can do to find a big, like, stable part of anything and a stable like sense of self or a stable relationship or a stable home. None of these things are going to cure the fact that like I am me, and that's a beautiful thing to me because even if I don't necessarily like myself, I learned that I can certainly work with myself.